Hello, world. This is America's Supermom, and this is a special edition that I call the Corona Chronicles. During this time, we are suffering from a pandemic that is affecting everyone across the world. We are joined with the rules and regulations of being shelter in place, which means we are limited with the ability to go about our daily business, confined to our homes based on a coronavirus that has been sweeping the entire world. For some people, the effects could be mild. For others, it can be fatal. So we are coming together as a community, as a family during this time of difficulty to share what it is like in our part of the world, how we are affected, and the things that we have in common, what kind of problems that are taking place in our industries and in our relationships and finances, and coming together so that we can plan for a better tomorrow. As this epidemic or pandemic crosses the world, we are waiting for relief. We're waiting for the virus to die off and for us to go back to some state of normalcy, whatever that may be, after things kind of settle down. So, what is that going to look like once the dust settles? How are things going to be different? So, as we go through this process, we're coming together as a world to create ideas, strategies, connect in ways that we have never connected before. So, that is the purpose of the special podcast that I call the Corona Chronicles, so that we can get some insight and have empathy and compassion on one another, create new innovative ideas that can not only improve our life, but our fellow brothers and sisters across the world. Thank you so much for joining us. So, I want to thank everybody for listening today. I'm so excited about my next guest, Sara Troy. I met her about a year ago, I think. It's been that long.
Hmm.
And we connected, and I just love her mindset, her wisdom, and insight on so many different levels. And I really appreciate the place that she holds in my life. I've just kind of taken to everybody that I've connected with, they're just tribe members, and they help me be the best version of myself and challenge me to always do my best. So I'm so excited to have her in my life. And she also has a podcast, and actually, she has a plethora of media access that she does in terms of empowering not just women, but people all over the world with their stories. And I really encourage you to look her up and just follow her because she's doing great, amazing things. But we are going to give Sara the floor so she can tell us a little bit about herself and get started into this interview.
Thank you very much, Lachelle. It is wonderful to be here. We've tried to do this before, and it
Yes,
was just not meant to be, and obviously it is now.
yes.
And I have to say that, when I interviewed you, it
Mhm.
was a wonderful interview, but I have to share a story. Um,
Mhm.
in the middle of our interview, I had an asthma attack, which I have never had during
Yeah.
an interview before. And I've never had it on a video. And I'm
Mhm.
watching my face contort as I'm trying to breathe, as I'm in this spasm, freaked out
Mhm.
by what I'm seeing and the fact that this is going on in the middle of an interview. And there you are. It's okay, dear. Take your time, dear. Take a
Mhm.
breath, dear. And you were so calm. It was just
Oh.
wonderful. And I went through my process, got my breath back, obviously deleted that from our interview, and we carried on. So thank you so much for grace during
Oh,
that. And if it was to happen with anyone, I'm glad it happened with you.
well, thank you. Thank you. That's what that mothering's all about, okay?
Exactly. And you are definitely, you know, mamapreneur here, mama. Yeah. uh,
Absolutely. So tell everybody a little bit, you've got this media empire. That's what I
mhm.
say. So talk to us about how you got started with that and where you are today.
Well, I've just had my eighth anniversary of hosting, and I came about it through a depression. I was at a
Mm,
crossroads where I had invested all my money in a new technology. We got caught by 2008, downfall where the
mhm,
investors went by the wayside, ended up living out of a van, and then the other people who
mm,
invested in us, stole the technology. And I was really at
mm,
a crossroads in life, and I'm a person that must be in purpose. Otherwise, life doesn't mean much to me. And I really didn't know what to do with myself. And I wrote an article on being depressed. And when I'm like this, I have to get out there and help other people. It's the only way I can get through it.
mhm,
And somebody
mhm,
saw the article and saw my site and saw what I was doing and said, come and join my network, as a podcaster. I'd never done this before, didn't even know what they were
mhm,
at the time. And
mhm,
I joined. I was with her 13 months. The first show I did was like a Monty Python skit. I pressed all the wrong buttons, and but it was a wonderful learning curve. I kind of look at it as the soap opera training. You're live, and
mm,
people drop and people have attacks and people do this and that.
mhm,
And it was wonderful training for me, but it also showed me this was my calling. And so 13 months later,
mm,
I started my own network that has been many names. It started off as PLV Radio, then went to Self Discovery Radio, Self Discovery Media, and now we're going into
mhm,
Discovering Communities. And it's evolved, it's grown, and
mhm,
collectively 2,500 shows between myself and my hosts that have come and gone
mm,
through this the series through the years. And
mhm,
but as you said, interviewing people that are making such a difference in the world, people that have gone through their why, their journey,
mhm,
they've discovered their strength, their courage, their
mhm,
abilities, their tools, and now they're turning around and helping other people on their journey. It has been an absolute gift to me, so therapeutic to me, and
mhm.
and it really is a place where I discovered my instrument, but also my orchestra. And so it has been now, as I said, 8 years, 7 years in June of my own network, an absolute joy to share these stories of
Mhm.
exemplary people doing
I love
incredible
that.
things.
Yeah, I love that. And, so this is so good because, you were at this place where, you might have been at your lowest point. And a lot of people listening might feel that way right now,
Hmm.
all over the world, not just in our little neck of the
Right.
woods, but it's everywhere. So, what advice would you give them? Because you had the strength to kind of, get out of that mindset. What was it that shifted that helped you get out of that?
I think, a word that always is buzzing in my ear is allow, allow, allow. We
Mm.
get caught up in our heads and
Mhm.
oh, the what if, but the what if. And we get caught up in all the negatives and everything that can go wrong and doomsday and it will never be the same again and all of that. And
Mhm.
yes, we've got to spend that emotion. We're in that emotion for a reason. Spend it. Don't get caught up
Mhm.
in it. And just take
Mm.
the breath. Try and be still. Go somewhere that is your tranquility, be it nature, music,
Mm.
dance, whatever it is that you need to do. And in that breath and in that stillness, simply ask the universe, God, whoever it is that guides you, I
Mhm.
am open to receiving, and
Mm.
allow that to come to you. And whatever comes to you will not always make sense. Me doing
Mhm.
podcasting. I'd never done anything like it before. But that's the story of my life. I'm always willing to try something new. And I go always
Mm.
with my soul and my heart's presence. That is where my truth lies. When the whole of the heart and the soul say, do it, I do it and get out of my mind.
Mhm.
So it's the soul to heart to spirit, and the mind will know what it needs to know when it needs to know it.
I love that. That is so true. I mean, that's just great. Now, for somebody who is at that space, what would you tell them to kind of, just get them off that ledge,
Yes.
because it's like, it's a comfort,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, man, I just got to have a little clarity here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was talking with someone and she was saying it's like people are bathing in a nice warm custard and they don't want to get out into the cold,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And it's we pain and our anguish and our disappointment in life and our disconnect and our dis-ease, we
Mhm.
let it become a comfortable space.
Mhm.
And I think is get uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Get uncomfortable. Let this where you're at in your life that you know is not feeding you. Don't
Mm.
get comfortable with it. Get uncomfortable because when you are uncomfortable, that's when you are driven to make changes.
I love that. Now that is good. That's a good word right there. I'm taking all kind of notes. Now, what is it that you think, is, in your daily routine that kind of helps you, keep that flexibility to be able to continue to evolve? Because you've said just with your own company over the span of
Mm,
8 years, you've changed your name several times in terms
mm.
of branding and different things that you had to do. So, how do you kind of keep yourself in that space to where you're always open to change?
I will let you know. It's been a struggle.
Mhm.
Right now I was meant to launch a brand new site and there's been complications and it's not ready.
Mhm.
So what I had to do is create a temporary site and it's not pretty, but it's got
Mm.
all the content in it. And I think, one of the things is stop looking for perfection.
Mm.
I don't know about you right now, but this is something I've observed that, I get a giggle out of.
Mhm.
When you're watching people in the studios, they've had their hair and their makeup done. The lighting is right, the cameras are at the right angle, everything's done for them.
Right.
Now they're all on Zoom. They're all working from home,
Right.
and they're interviewing people that way. And there isn't as much effort on their hair or their makeup or their
Mhm.
aesthetics. And it's become real.
Mhm.
It's we've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this now with Zoom videoing. I've been doing this just over 2 years, but I've been doing, podcasting now for 8 years.
Mhm.
And we're catching people in the natural habitat in their natural state. And I think
Mm.
that this is what we want out
Mhm.
of people. It's stop trying to live up to somebody else's expectation of
Yeah.
perfection and
Mhm.
go inside of yourself and look at the
Mhm.
gift that lays within that is waiting to come out.
Mhm. So true. I mean, that's one of the things that I say when I do my Facebook Live. It's like, look, I'm behind the scenes. I would look
Mhm. Mhm.
crazy dressed here in a suit or
Yeah.
whatever, and I'm at home with 12 kids in
Yes.
the background.
Yes. I'm surprised you haven't got flour in your hair and wood spoon in one hand.
So we have to be mindful. I love that because that gives us the grace to recognize that it's
Yeah.
okay to be yourself, because
Yes.
you need that element of authenticity, in order to comfortably navigate through whatever tomorrow holds.
Exactly.
Mhm.
The thing is, it's you are always with you wherever you go. So
Mm.
there's no point of running from you. There's no point in trying to you to be what somebody else wants of you, because that person
Right.
wants this of you, that person wants that of you. And while you're splitting your atoms, you're
Mhm.
disconnecting yourself. If you just nurture, love, and let yourself grow into
Mm.
being you, you will find you are enough for so many more people than you would have been when you're trying to please everyone else.
I love that. Now that is, you said something so key right there. It's that, you are with you wherever you go,
Mhm.
and if you don't, you are kind of disconnecting yourself. So for somebody who is feeling that, disconnection, what would you say to them about trying to bring it all back together? You know.
Have a good conversation in the mirror. It's very
Mhm.
hard to pull the wool over your own eyes.
Mhm.
Really, eyeball to eyeball, have a
Mhm.
look and say, are you being authentic?
Mm.
Strip down, like
Mhm.
the makeup off, the hair wild as you got out of bed,
Mhm.
and ask yourself, what do you want? How
Mm.
do you want to feel? What makes you happy?
Mhm.
What would you love to do that is of service
Mhm.
to humanity? And nurture that. And that's the expectation of
Mhm.
it's the expectation of you becoming your beautiful instrument and then finding your orchestra to play in. And
Mhm.
that's the self-discovery. That's why my network was called Self-Discovery Media. It's about our own self-discovery of the awesomeness and the gift that lies within. But unless you're
Mhm.
willing to have the honest conversation with yourself, you're not going to start. The other thing is participation. You
Mm.
have to participate in your life. This is not handing yourself off to someone else.
Mm.
Counselors and guides and everything, they're there to give you the tools, to nudge you, to help you on your own journey, but you've got to walk it. These are your
Mhm.
feet on your journey. You've got to be willing to walk it. They're helping you carry and navigate that
Mm.
journey, but it's your journey to walk. So if you're not willing to participate in your own life and you want to abstain and hand it off to someone else, well, if you're not enjoying your life, whose responsibility is that?
Right. I love that. And so, for somebody who is in that space, they're like, well, I think I am participating. I do have this coach and I am doing these things that they say are the successful tips for being a millionaire or whatever. How do you demonstrate to them what that participation looks like? Because a lot of people think, well, I'm following the checklist, but I'm still not getting any results. So, what is the disconnect, you think, that kind of has them clouded about thinking that they're participating? How do you navigate them through explaining what participation looks like? Because some people think they're following a formula and that'll
Mm.
do it. You know what I mean?
We've got to understand life isn't a manual. There are
Mhm.
codes of conduct. There is,
Mhm.
sensible routines that we need to have. And I think finding a routine and getting into a structure is very good because it helps us get into a pattern. Um,
Mhm.
and we've got to understand that participation isn't just doing everything by numbers. If you're not
Mm.
connecting to it, nothing's happening. So it's
Mm.
what are you connecting to with whatever's you're being guided through? What has it triggered inside of you? How has it made you feel? You have to connect to those feelings. If old
Mm.
feelings come up, are they anger? Are they sorrow? Are they despair? You have to face them. And if you can
Mm.
forgive whoever caused them, forgive them. If you can get an apology from them, fantastic, but don't expect it. You've got
Mhm.
to let it go. And the thing is don't forget it because it's part of your building blocks. It's part of your building blocks of strength and
Mhm.
courage and discovery of yourself. But you must let go of the
Mhm.
pain because if you don't let go of the pain, it's going
Mhm.
to contaminate your waters and everything that you do. So you have to be willing to go through the
Mhm.
process. There are no shortcuts. There's no downloadable app. There's nobody else doing it for you. You've got to be willing to
Mhm.
go through the process and you have no idea what's going to come up or how you're going to feel. This is part of the self-discovery. Go with the flow.
Mm.
Pay attention
I
to
love
what
that.
comes to you and deal with it in the now.
Mhm. I love that. And I love the whole thing about don't try to leave it behind.
Right.
Let go of the pain,
Yes.
but keep moving. I mean, this is so key. A lot of people, I hope they're listening and get that because the thing about it in my life that happened was when I wanted to discard the pain with the
Hmm.
experience, I was not a whole person.
Right.
So,
Yes. They're
you
your
know what I
building
mean?
blocks, right? That's what
Yes,
makes you
yes.
who you are today.
Yes, yes. So that is so key is that they the building blocks.
Hmm.
This is so true. Now, so for somebody who is, what books maybe or podcasts would you suggest that people begin kind of on that journey? Taking those baby steps to start moving forward.
Well, I'm a personality coach. So, the true colors, the four key
Mhm.
personalities. And one of the books I absolutely love because it's very simple, very easy to read, and it really helps identify what kind of personality you are. And that is
Mhm.
Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer
Oh, okay.
Johnson, MD. And it's
Mhm.
it's how we deal with change. And it's about two
Mhm.
mice and two men over, a pile of cheese, and one day the cheese isn't there, and it's the reaction that everybody has. And
Mm.
it's one of what we're always looking for in any form of coaching or guiding or inspiration is relativity. How do I relate to this? And this kind of book,
Mhm.
you're going to relate to one of those characters, or maybe two. And the
Mm.
thing is then it's a good look at yourself. Okay, this is obviously the way I look at things. Knowing that, how
Mhm.
can I use this knowledge in moving forward? And gosh,
Mm.
there's so many other books, a lot of the people um, that have, sent me books, and it's a little hard to kind of do them all. But I'm also a
Mhm.
fantasy reader, and I love
Mhm.
Northern Lights, The Golden Compass, and the trilogy of that. Now, though
Mhm.
it's written for youth, but the beauty of it is
Mhm.
it always talks about the soul is on the outside. It's
Mhm.
as a child, it's an animal that's always changing, and at puberty it becomes the animal identifying with who you are from the inside out. And it was always when I read that
Mm.
the envy that my soul isn't something that is on the outside that I can talk to. And so it's an indicator of
Mm.
find your soul voice inside and learn to have a
Mhm.
conversation with it, learn to listen to it.
Mhm.
So
I love
those are a
that.
couple of them, two opposite extremes.
Yeah, that is so good. I love that. And I mean, this has just been some key golden nuggets because I think a lot of times, I love the way it's just get to the
Mhm,
chase. You know what I
mhm.
mean? It's like, quit the
Yeah,
fluff, no
put the
filter,
violin
and
down.
I think exactly. And I think right now during this
Yes.
pandemic, we are really faced with a lot of things that are in your face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What have our priorities been? I mean, how are we going to move forward and what things are we going to be able to salvage and what things do we need to let go of? So I
I think
think
it's an
the
invitation.
things that you
I think it's
mentioned,
an invitation.
yes.
I think actually the present moment, and I've been, doing blogging shows on this like crazy under my own shows, it's a gift of time. And, this time
Mhm.
of being isolated is, and I know in your house that's not the case, but for most people, maybe one or two people are on their own, it's a time
Mhm.
of reflection. It's a time of
Mhm.
reviewing. It's a time of renewing. And it's a time to look
Mhm.
at, well, what really is important in my life? When I get back out there, do I
Mhm.
want to conduct myself the same way as I did before? Did it serve me? Did it
Mhm.
serve humanity? And
Mhm.
what can I
Mhm.
do to be part of the change?
Mm, I love that. What can I do to be part of the change?
Yeah.
Yes, that is so true. Well, I mean, this has just been a wonderful discussion. I'm so glad we were able to connect. So tell everybody, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Because, there's some people out here that I'm sure are going to have some stories that, maybe could resonate with, your audience and what it is that you do on a regular basis. So what's the best way of them to get a hold
Well,
of
well,
you?
first and foremost, I'm the people that you send to me, and I'm going to be sending right back at you
Mhm.
because they really have been gems, and that's the whole point of it is, isn't it,
Mhm.
getting those nuggets of golden information out to people to help them on their own life's journey. So as I said, I'm in transition with my site. I was meant to launch discoveringcommunities.org, but we're not ready, so I
Mhm.
did a makeshift site of selfdiscoverycommunity.org. And,
Mhm.
we not only have beautiful guests who share their why, but we also have mentors. And those mentors are the
Mm.
people with the services people guide through their life. As we make money through our various programs of podcasting, books, and through the mentorship program and the shows, a percentage of that goes into a fund action, which will subsidize the people in the mentorship for people at a crossroads in life. But you
Mm.
can find the shows and everything on there, but selfdiscoverymedia.com also has the shows. That site's slowly being dwindled down in order to
Mhm.
move over to the other one. And you can contact me at info selfdiscoverymedia.com. Whether you wish to be a guest, it's if you go to selfdiscoverycommunity.org, there's the invite to be a guest, the invite to be a mentor. I am.
Mm.
I'm a free site to my listeners, but I do charge my guests and my mentors because this
Mhm.
is my business, and
Mhm.
I'm a knowledge sharer. And so
Awesome.
and the the mentors or people are out there who have gone through their why, have gone through their process, and now with those beautiful skills and tools, they're out there helping other people go through theirs. So
Mhm.
2,500 beautiful shows of wisdom up here, which is some incredible
Mhm.
people like yourself out there who chose to go through the process of life and become that beautiful instrument to join the orchestra.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate it, and I'm so glad to be a part of your life. I mean, the things that you say, the wisdom and wealth of knowledge, I mean, it's been impactful for me. So I encourage everybody to follow along and look you up. And what are any last parting words that you would want to share?
In this time of uncertainty, listen to the news maybe once a day for updates.
Mhm.
It's good to know
Mhm.
that, but you
Mhm.
know what you need to do right now, the common sense. Isolation is
Mhm.
part of your participation in this global healing. Obviously,
Mhm.
common sense of washing your surfaces, your hands, your face,
Mhm.
all of that type of thing. But it's also, I think, a wonderful time to
Mhm.
really look at our imprint as human race on this world and what a gift this world is to us, what a gift we are to each other. And that
Mhm.
when we come back out, like the Noah's Ark, when we land on land and we come
Mhm.
back out, don't
Mhm.
come out with the same expectations, don't come out with the same agenda.
Mhm.
Come out into this beautiful new world, this invitation, because
Mhm.
Mama Earth has put us on notice.
Mhm.
Never in a time have we seen every country in the world be facing the same crisis.
Mhm.
This was a warning. And so, next time she might not be so kind. She might just evict us. So this is
Yeah.
time for us to change our practices. Do we need to consume so much? Do we need to have so much?
Mhm.
Do we need to be so busy? Do we need to be so
Mm.
important? Where's the authenticity of our heart, soul, and our spirit? And this is the gift of time we have right now in order to ask those questions, to reflect, and to come out anew.
I love that. That is just so good. That is we need to listen to that again. So we need to have a replay of the podcast. This is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. I'm so glad that we can connect, and I look forward to collaborating with you again soon.
Yes, most certainly. Most certainly.
All right. Okay. Well, you have a wonderful afternoon. Okay.
You too, and to everyone else.
All right. Bye bye. What a great interview with Sarah, with the insight to know that we have to participate in our own recovery, overcoming our thought processes and as we move forward just in life and creating a new normal, it's important that we be proactive and participate in that discovery. So, great insight, great nuggets of wisdom, and just something for us really to ponder and meditate on as we kind of navigate our way through this new normal. Take some time to go for walks and enjoy the outside and nature and put yourself in a space and a frame of mind to reflect on what are your priorities? What are some of your non negotiables? What are some things that you're doing that's moving you forward? What are some things that you believe have hindered you? So, taking that time to really observe and make some new game plans, reset some things so that you can move forward for a better tomorrow. If you're interested in being a guest, please email me at info@lachelleatkins.com. You also can reach out to me through Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and I also have a YouTube channel. So I'm really excited to be able to provide this platform to help us as we move forward in life um, and getting past this pandemic, moving forward for a better tomorrow. So I want to thank you all for listening and reach out if there's anything that's on your heart, anything that you want to share in order to help us all as we rebuild and renew and move forward after this pandemic. Thank you for listening.